because the horses are heading to post, headed there by Agent Shifwell with Andrea Etzeni on board, and shadowed down by Saffie Osborne on board Cry of Passion. And Saffie Osborne is seeking her first win as a professional rider. Of course, she used to be a very talented eventing rider. She won team and individual gold in the Pony European Championships back in 2018, having won silver the previous year in those championships as well. And this will be her 12th ride, and she of course is the daughter of Jamie Osborne, the trainer of Crime of Passion. And Steve, I felt the Crime of Passion was possibly an each-way angle in this race, because this is a horse that is in good form, ran very well when third behind Baywatch at Bath last time, and is on, for now, the same mark.
Good evening, Lydia. I agree. I think she's the main danger, personally. I think a stiff 5 furlongs is what she wants. She's been ridden by today's rider the last twice and run very well both times. The horse got outpaced on both occasions, so I think a strong pace here would help her, but certainly a stiff uphill finish is a definite plus, and the fact that she's ridden the horse and knows the horse well, I think is also a plus.
Good evening to you as well, Steve. Agent Shifwell, though, I think is a worthy favourite, having gone back to his best when second at Yarmouth last time.
Yeah, and I said Santorini, I think a slightly unfortunate second, only slightly. There were 3 horses came clear. He travelled very well throughout. 3 horses came clear. The other 2 were about 10 yards away from him on the far side, and he was sort of racing by himself. And I think he might have won had he been involved with other horses, but he still ran really well. The handicapper says he's £2 well in on that. If this was last year, I would have been worried about stall 1, because I know traditionally that's been a very good draw, but the last couple of years I don't think it has been. This year I think there's been not much advantage from what I've seen so far. You've been at a few of the meetings, I don't know what you think, Lydia, but I don't think there's been too much advantage or disadvantage in where you want to run.
No, I tend to agree. I mean, I can think instantly of a race 2 days ago where the first, second and third all raced against the rail in a sort of old-style Sandown sprint race, but other races had a sort of scattering of advantage or disadvantage. Yeah, like you, I don't think there's anything in that at the moment on this track. So Dark Silver's the one that splits those 2 that we've talked about in the market, and obviously on his best form he'd have an outstanding chance, but he hasn't been in his best form for his last 4 starts.
No, and to my cost, he's a 13-race maiden. I've certainly backed him at least once, if not more than once. Yeah, he's the best handicapped horse in the race. He was placed off marks in the low 70s this year, and he's now off 68. But, as I say, he still hasn't won a race. I'm not entirely convinced 5 furlongs his trip, but I think it's more to do with what sort of mood he's in. Maybe Luke Morris will get the best out of him. Again, if everything goes right, you can definitely see it, but I've lost a bit of patience with him, really, until he wins. Yeah. I personally would wash.
Yeah, absolutely, I tend to agree. And the rest of them need gadgets or some sort of angle in order to spring them into being some sort of a threat here, don't they?
Yeah, you got headgear on the first time for Abalika. There'd been some money for that this morning. I couldn't see why, particularly, unless the headgear really improves him. Captain Spirit is pacey, but he was a long way behind Agent Shifwell last time out. I'm struggling after that, to be perfectly honest, to come up with a viable alternative. I think the betting has got it right. I think there's 3 horses who are outstandingly got more obvious claims.
Tend to agree, and last one's going forward now for our opening race of 8 here at Sandown. Time to introduce Alan Howes, who has the call this evening.
Thanks, Lydia, and good evening, everybody. Last one about to move in. Set to go for the Chessington handicap, and they're off. They race away over the 5 furlongs, and Bailey's Freedom well away. Sir Mare towards the outside, also showing some early speed. More back to the inner is Navajo Dawn, together with Agent Shifwell. Between those, Avalika. Then the dark blue of Kapla Spirit, then followed by Sky Lackey to the inside in the orange and white. Dark Silver is next, and the one who's adrift is Crime of Passion by 4 to 5 lengths behind the others. As they continue up the home straight towards halfway, and it's out in front, Navajo Dawn that leads from Bailey's Freedom and Sir Mare to the outer. Abalika right behind those. Still against the inside is Agent Shifwell, trying to move up as they make their way inside the final quarter mile. Sir Mare has now grabbed the lead. Sir Mare out in front. Here comes Agent Shifwell moving through the challenge. Sir Mare about to be joined by Agent Shifwell as they race towards the final furlong. And then battling on for third is Kapla Spirit. Behind that one in fourth, that is Dark Silver. Agent Shifwell from Sir Mare and Kapla Spirit as they race up towards the line. It's Agent Shifwell from Sir Mare, who's still serving up a good fight, but it's Agent Shifwell in front. Agent Shifwell from Sir Mare, Kapla Spirit and Dark Silver, and they finish clear.
Agent Shiftwell has won our opening contest here at Sandown, the Chessington Handicap, over 5 furlongs for Andrea Etzeni and Stuart Williams. Second is Sir Mare, who's bounced back without those cheek pieces, a lot less sulky performance from her. Holly Doyle on board for Robert Cowell. Third was Capler Spirit. The cheek pieces seem to have helped. And I'm just watching the early stages of Crime of Passion, because she got very much behind in the early stages and just never seemed to be going right from the start, and was just never ever involved. Up front, Navajo Dawn took them along in the early stages. Also prominent was Abalika with the cheek pieces. There was some money for that horse, and prominent also was Sir Mare, and right from the very start she was in a better mood than last time when she was reluctant to race. Maybe she didn't face the cheek pieces, and she's bounced back to the more consistent form that she showed prior to that sulky last performance. Navajo Dawn is already in trouble at this point, just being nudged along also is Abalika, and your eye is taken by the eventual winner Agent Shiftwell, who has come through from mid-division on that far side rail, switched around horses going less well than him and taken the lead very straightforwardly. This horse is due to go up £2 in future handicaps, and this was the moment really that he needed to seize the opportunity to win, and he's done so readily, to be fair. Certainly Sir Mare has bounced back to some kind of form and has notched up another placed effort, and that's more encouragement from Capler Spirit. I was expecting to see something go wrong at the start of A Crime of Passion, but really it seems to be after the start, for some reason just never going today. The winner is on the left-hand side there, as I mentioned, mid-division on the inside rail. Outpaced behind her is Sky Lackey. Towards the rear, who's come through for fourth, that's Dark Silver. But up front is Navajo Dawn in the first-time cheek pieces, who shows some speed early on, but she is not yet able to transfer her Southwell form to the turf. Outpaced already is Abalika in the first-time cheek pieces, yellow sleeves next to her. Also outpaced and pumped along is Bailey's Freedom, also wearing first-time blinkers and starting to hang a little bit, and at one point looks as though he might cause some issues for the winner. The runner-up does tend to flash her tail. She did so at the start again here today, and it's something she's shown in the past, but she's stuck on well enough against a well-handicapped horse who's probably a cut above these. Not a very competitive handicap, so when Agent Shiftwell